Michigan had a good relationship with a lot of the coaches here. And during that period of time with the 10-year war, there wasn't a time where one team won 10 years in a row or 10 out of 11 or any of that BS. I remember thinking how cool the Michigan helmets were, seeing Rick Leach on the cover of Sports Illustrated when I was in high, it's crazy what you keep in your mind, but I could remember that picture on the cover of Sports Illustrated. A lot of things he said during the time, when you're naive, you thought they only dealt with football. So he used to have a saying still over the door at Michigan, I saw it last week, those who stay will be champions. During that time, it was like you stayed, you worked your butt off, you had a chance, you were going to be the Big Ten champion, which we had 2 of those. What it really meant is, like I said with Ted Lalakis and Coach Butchie and Coach Stoops, you work your butt off and persevere, you're going to be okay in life. You're going to be a good father. You're going to work through things at work. One year we were ranked #1 in the country, playing Wisconsin that week. Middle of practice, everybody get off the field, go in the team meeting room, keep your helmets on. So it's like, oh boy. And he gave one of the great speeches that I could remember him giving us. And he looked at all of us and said, you have probably the greatest talent in the history of Michigan, if not college football, and that we had 5 All-Americans on the team that year. And you guys are pretty good. He says, but you have to understand that every day you either get better or you get worse. So if you think you could throw your helmet on the field and you're going to win the national championship, he says, you're wrong. He says, you're good, but Wisconsin's working to get you right now. So if you think you're just going to throw your helmet on the field, they're going to get you. We ended up losing that week to an 18-point dog, and that team really underachieved, mostly because of some quarterback play and things that we had. But that had nothing to, it had something to do with football maybe. But at the end of the day, Surgical Hospital at Southwoods used to be a little surgery center, and now it's an acute care hospital, and now we have a imaging center and a spine center and a sleep center and more plans. So for better or for worse, I have the curse of Bo in my head that you can't stay the same, and that your competitors and the population want and need different things. Healthcare is changing. Don't you dare be complacent. One of the great memories, and then that week against Wisconsin, it was a terrible loss. We played up at Wisconsin, and we were battling our butt off, and it felt terrible. We ended up losing by 5 or 6 points to a team we shouldn't have. And you come in for film the next day, and Stanley Edwards' number 32 and my number 72, he writes on the chalkboard. It's like, what did I do? Did I do something last night? What happened during the game? Didn't I have, I thought I played pretty well. And he singled us out, saying that these are the 2 leaders of the team. They played like warriors every play, and everybody spend some time with them this week to figure out what's in their head and not in everyone else's head to get this thing back on track. Stanley and I became the leaders that week. We ended up playing Notre Dame, who was ranked #1, coming into Michigan Stadium the next week. I think we had 400 yards rushing. I might have talked to the newspapers after the fact because we were just abusing the defensive line of Notre Dame, and told the press that after the game. And Bo Schembechler abruptly, a week later said, Muransky, you're no longer the leader, shut up to the press, but you had a great game. So those are some of the things, and he was real high on a lot of that stuff, and being a friend of mine after the fact, and all the way through the year of his death, helping my son get into Michigan Law School. He was like a second father to me. And there were so many life lessons that came out of the Bo Schembechler mouth. But the biggest gift he gave me are the friends and the memories I have with those friends. And those who stay will be champions. I'm friends with good dads. I'm friends with good lawyers, good mechanics that work their butt off in what they do. They're just good people, and they're all champions in whatever they do in life. So we have a couple Big Ten rings that stay in our jewelry box, but I think it was more about being a champion of life that would roll over on the football field.